Good morning. I'm at Friarstown up in the Goldfields region of Victoria. Friarstown's a bit of a ghost town now. It's an old historic town. I'm doing a walk called, I think it's Breakneck Hill. I decided to start here. So that's the Burke and Wills Mechanics Institute Hall behind me, after the Burke and Wills of the ill-fated expedition. Alright, I'm doing it. The part of this track follows the Goldfields track, and then it makes a bit of a loop through some quiet kind of four-wheel drive tracks. I'll spin the camera and show you what I'm looking at. So Friarstown, okay, I think I alluded to already, is an old gold mining settlement. There's not much here at the moment as far as commercial opportunities, but people do live here. There's no way to buy, I don't think you can buy food or anything here. So I'm following a bit of the Goldfields track initially. I wandered back through town at the end of the walk, and there's a few old buildings and that. But I'm basically heading straight out of town now. So I'm leaving town on the Goldfields track. It's slightly denuded. It's got a bit of a wasteland feel to this bit of the walk, from the old mining days, no doubt. It's still probably better than walking along the road though. Player comfort level this morning is on the chilly side. It's around about 7 degrees and there's a fairly brisk breeze blowing. So if I can get out of the wind, it's not too bad, but with a breeze, it's pretty chilly. So I'm glad to get moving. It's a bit tricky getting through. You got to watch for the markers because there's kind of tracks going every direction. But being the Goldfields track, this bit, it is fairly well marked. I mean, I'm not far from town. I'm just kind of skirting around the outskirts of town, so you're not going to get seriously lost. So this Goldfields track section is very nice walking. It's a really good underrated track, the Goldfields track, I reckon. I did it as a through hike, a couple of years ago, a year or so ago, I can't remember. But yeah, totally. Really enjoyed it. Best at this time of the year too, when it's cool. It gets a bit hot over summer. So I'm just making my way out of town still, passing through some private land on this old road easement. This is still the Goldfields track that I'm following. I'm heading up to that road up there. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, so I'm leaving the Goldfields track here for a while. It swings left. I'm just walking this quiet road for a kilometre up a hill, and then I'll loop around over Breakneck Hill and meet the Goldfields track again in about 4 or 5 k's. So I found there's a quiet road that bypasses that bitumen road, or kind of, it's a bit of a variant, so it's a little bit better walking than walking on the bitumen, walking these quiet roads, so I'm using that. Probably add a few 100 metres, but we'll see. It's always a bit of a risk on some of these quiet roads that you get to right near the end and they're private property or something. According to my map, I can loop back out onto the main road. So we'll see. If I'm backtracking in 10 minutes, well, no, I couldn't get through. Gee, there's a lot of gorse around here. It's obviously a pest, a feral weed in this kind of part of the world. Seems to love this goldfields area, the gorse. Okay, my little quiet road diversion paid off. I'm going to head up into those hills now. Back on the bitumen road. So I'm picking up Yullawill Ridge Road now, heading back into the bush. My maps differ a little bit. One of my maps calls this Breakneck Hill Track, and obviously, there's Yarrawill Ridge Road. Anyway, it's the same road, different name. The other thing that's different, one of my maps has this Breakneck Hill. There's a person sitting up there. Another one has it a bit further along. So there's a few. I'm in the bush now, basically in probably the Castlemaine Dry Diggings State Park. It's a funny park, this one. It's got like a lot of little private houses scattered throughout the bush. So sometimes you're never quite sure if you're actually on public or private land through here, so you've got to kind of keep an eye on things a bit. So I've been following this, whatever it was, Ridge Road. I'm leaving the main road here and following this lesser track up this gully. It's not signposted, but it's more, well, there's been a few tracks heading off, but it's the more major of the lesser tracks, if that makes any kind of sense, on the left. Once again, if you're watching the map, even if you went the other road, you're not gonna go too far wrong through here. So I'm climbing what on my digital map is Yullawill Hill. It's about 400 metre elevation. It's not 400 metre climb. It's probably only 60 metre climb. On my paper map, this is called Breakneck Hill. So I don't know, draw your own conclusion. This one is certainly bigger than the hill at the start of the track, so it's a bigger climb. All right, I'll get on with it. I haven't got much further to go, and I'll swing back onto the Goldfields track. I'll meet a road up here in a little while. So you look carefully enough, there's plenty of history. Apart from the mine shafts, there's plenty of old gold mining history around here. There's an old water race contouring around the hill. So whatever the name of the hill is, this is pretty much the high point of the walk. There's not a lot of long range views. I mean, there's glimpses through the trees. Okay, I've met Spring Gully Road. I'm going to swing down here and meet up with the Dry Diggings track again, or the Goldfields track, and then follow that one all the way back to Friarstown. Okay, back on the Dry Diggings track. So navigation's a lot simpler now. I just got to follow the markers all the way back to Friarstown. So this is the start of the old Spring Gully diggings. They're fairly extensive. They go on for a while. Very interesting spot to kind of poke around for a while. That'd be the kind of supports for the old battery, I guess. This is a mullock heap here. So that's like the waste from the mine, the spoil. There's a mine shaft in here that's fenced off. I won't be getting too close to. And you can see down, now I'll go around this way, in the gully where they've sluiced That's all eroded. So those clay kind of cliffs have been eroded by water when they sluiced the creek or the gully. So I'm down in the gullies now. So this is why they call it the Goldfields Track. I'm walking through mullock at the moment. Massive, massive mullock. And it looks like, judging by the bricks, this is where the miners used to live. Yeah, so there was a battery here. So the sign's saying keep off because the old stonework's fragile. I'd be keeping off because it's full of mine shafts too. The size of that one. Okay, back in the private land, walking into the outskirts of Friarstown from the opposite direction now. Back in the gorse infections. As you can see, there's a fair bit of wind around. So I got to head down past these pines and I'm basically on the outskirts of town again. So I'm walking through the outskirts of Friarstown now. There's a few older, like historic buildings, and there's some newer stuff that's built in a kind of right, sympathetic fashion. Like that one up there's a newer house, I think, but it looks old. Yeah, it's a quaint little village, this one, but like I said at the start, there's nothing here for a tourist apart from some nice walking. Okay, let's finish this walk off, eh? So I've got about 100 metres up the road, and I should find Sam, hopefully. Okay, just walking back up to the Mechanics Institute in Friarstown. I can see Sam. There's some cockies here that are going to squawk at me, I reckon, in a minute. That walk came to about maybe 11 k's, about 250 metres climbing. It's a nice walk, that one. I hope the video, it's not like super scenic, but there's enough nice forest. There's a lot of gold mining history scattered around these hills. This time of year, the trees are looking nice in the old towns. Some historic old buildings, so yeah, definitely recommend it. This is one I found, this is another one that Glenn Tempest walks in his Victorian Goldfields book. And I made my own map on all trails. They're the only notes that I know of with this exact walk. I mean, it does follow long sections of the Goldfield track, and you could kind of, with a bit of a look at a map, you could make your own route back, make it into a circuit. All right, we're heading home now, so I'll I'll catch you on the next one. Take it easy.